I'm Morgan Holliger, and I am a student at the John Paul II Institute for Studies on Marriage and Family. I never thought I would become Catholic because it was never really proposed to me in my upbringing. I would say that I was raised agnostic. I think my parents really raised me in such a way that the spiritual pursuit was very open and very encouraged. I think I experienced from a young age sort of the problems of organized religion. And Christianity specifically is something sort of bogged down by being institutional and sort of corrupt. I'm very thankful for being raised so sort of within this environment where questioning and pursuing the truth of life was very it was very encouraged, and I felt like I was very allowed to participate in that pursuit. By the time I was a teenager, specifically maybe 16, 17, I started to sort of feel kind of my individual spirituality kind of wasn't going anywhere. It would sort of exhaust itself, and all the desires I had for I guess transcendence, to go out for myself and to really reach the beyond or whatever was it couldn't be achieved. And so I think eventually I started to warm up to the idea of Christianity. And I think specifically a more, what felt to me to be a more kind of ancient form of Christianity, so the church. My boyfriend at the time was raised Catholic, and so that was sort of in the back of my mind during this time of sort of what is the church? What is this thing? Being confronted with the beauty of the midnight mass and the liturgy, and this beautiful church, and just sort of feeling this sense of there's this ancient thing that you can participate in with all of these people, and it's centered around this experience of beauty. There was something real about this encounter with with the liturgy and with the beauty of the church, and then obviously the presence of Christ. It was operative in all of this, but it was not conscious for me at that point. I didn't even know about the real presence of the Eucharist or any of that. I came into the church the year following my first encounter of midnight mass. So in 2011, when I was a senior in high school. It was the greatest thing I ever did. I mean, and I feel very sort of humbled by it because I don't really know why, how it all happened. It's hard for me to even fathom what could have sort of called me to this. But it's answered all of my deepest questions. I mean, it continues to, and it's not I've arrived, but it's given me sort of an outlet for all the things I've ever really desired, honestly. Through having a personal relationship with Christ through the church. My real sort of deepened conversion was through encountering the teachings of John Paul II, and sort of his emphasis on engaging modernity and what it is to be man. So it kind of met me at a place where I had already been questioning, what does it mean to be a human being? What is the dignity of man? All these things that felt very natural to me and weren't outside of my experience that I had always had. John Paul II really spoke to me there. Also, I think what was crucial was his emphasis on love. These are the things that are crucial for John Paul II's understanding of Christianity in a time when Christianity was sort of very much called into question by modernity. And so I felt very kind of guided and called by him in a very real, personal way to sort of really have a deepened understanding of who is Christ, what is the church, and how does this make me more fully human.